Good
Hello,
morning.
welcome everyone. uh, yeah, so now we have something really interesting, not seen before. A glitchless Duofecta race, relay race, with 3 teams, and we're gonna introduce them now.
Yeah, the teams include Portal and Tedda, Renee and Felix, and Finn and Ryan, also known as Feel My Goods. And we'll be starting with HB1 because obviously it's meant to be a relay race, so HB1 and then HB2. We'll start with Portal on Team Portal versus Portal and Tedda, Renee on Team Renee and Felix, and Finn on Team Finn and Ryan.
Hello,
You can introduce yourselves.
I'm Portal.
Hello, I'm Renee.
Hello, I'm Finn.
Now HP2 runners time, I guess. Hi, I'm Ryan.
Felix.
I'm Ted. You guys know me.
But who's gonna be the winner? We're gonna see.
Me
Yes.
and Portal.
Oh, and he's spoiled. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess we can just move
This is all
on.
pre-recorded, by the way.
Okay, I guess I could give you guys a countdown and we can start off. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, start.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
And now we're gonna wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is the best part of HB1. Just, intro for 2 minutes and 8 seconds on the dot. Absolutely wonderful storybook intro.
Exactly.
You'd love to see it. If anybody complains about HB1 intro being too long, you tell them that it's a work of art.
Yes,
I
everyone loves HP1 intro.
Yeah, Flo even has an emote about this love intro.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's literally got like a water gun pointed to a smiley face's head. It's lovely.
Because intro is a good refreshment between resets.
Like, imagine doing a long run, like, an Octo or a Duofecta, and you need to take a little break. You've got it in the first game. Perfectly designed for speedruns.
So maybe we'll talk more about the run. Duofecta means we're gonna see 2 games in a row, HP1 and HP2, completing without glitches.
Yeah,
And
even Glitchless has a lot of cool strats, especially in HB1. And there's also cutscenes, which, by the way, you cannot skip in HB1, but they are skippable in HB2. So the run, the length of the run is decided according to that as well. So on an average, the length of a HB1 glitchless run is 130 to 135, like an hour 35, and it would be about 50 to 55 minutes for HB2. So that's how much of a difference the cutscenes make.
exactly, but in HP1 we have much more potential to glitch on accident, and hope we're gonna not see it throughout this run, because we can have unfortunate frame perfect jump that will cause us to do super jump, and obviously that's a glitch. We can sometimes just wall clip on something, get hit during a cutscene. A lot of can happen.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that none of that does happen because we want to have a clean race. So fingers
And
crossed.
after this beautiful chat, we're finally out of intro and we land into the cutscene.
Yep. Because if you didn't have enough time to sit back and relax, here's 30 more seconds for you. So after this is where the sort of the country, like, you're given control after this cutscene, and the first thing you do is you meet Fred and George, and they teach you how to jump and how to climb ledges or bookcases in this scenario. So we're gonna see an example of that.
Wrong. We just walked for 1 second and we landed in another cutscene.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, here we have another 5 seconds of walking into another cutscene.
Let's go. And we meet Fred and George. And so this is kind of where the first sort of strategy comes into play. Because as you're jumping through the bookcases that we're about to see in a sec, there's also Peeves the poltergeist, and he's going to try and knock you off of the bookcases. And that fall is quite costly. It's about 25 seconds, if I'm not wrong, in this.
Usually people reset there,
Yeah.
but yeah.
However, you cannot do that in a race.
We can see here Rennie got the fast climb on the ledge. We can jump into the ledge, and if we jump at proper time, we can get it faster.
Yeah, so the difference is that it's like a much shorter climbing animation, so it's usually a lot faster. And if you can get pretty much a good chunk of those instant ledge grabs, it adds up in the run and you lose time. And here you can see pretty much all of the runners got a good Peeves. Nobody got knocked off the bookcase, which is known to happen.
Oh, Portal got a really weird ledge grab.
Yeah, that was
He
that was
almost fell
interesting.
off, but I think he jumped in a cutscene, which is a frame perfect jump.
Mm. Here as well, you can see all the runners going slightly to the right. That's because if you move straight into the room, there's a cutscene with Fred and George that plays, so we try and avoid that cutscene by veering to the right of the trigger and collecting all the beans, because to proceed, you need to talk to Fred and George, and they'll give you a wizard card, and that can only happen if you have all 25 beans collected. And all that for nothing. We don't even pick up the wizard
Everyone's
card.
skipping the card.
Yeah, Sag.
Everyone's skipping the card.
It's
Unfortunately,
almost
picking
like it's
cards
above
here
them,
is
no?
way longer.
Yeah, because when you pick up a wizard card in HP1, it does like a little animation, which is around, what, 5 seconds? Probably longer.
Something like that.
Yeah. So there's another cutscene after this cutscene. There's so many cutscenes in HP1.
Whoa.
It's Hermione trying to introduce Harry to the first lesson, but we go to the left slightly and we can skip the cutscene. So everybody got that very clean. And
Yeah.
we're in
Hermione
Flipendo,
says
just
she's
like
Hermione.
right now, spell drawing. Every Hundo runner's bane of existence. Fortunately, in Glitchless, we only need about 50% on the first one. And we're looking good on Renee's and so on Portals, I think. Yep, that's good. And then the next one we can fail just to continue on into the Flipendo challenge.
Yes. As we can see, runners are pretty close to each other because there was not much gameplay in between all those cutscenes. But this can easily change in Flipendo. So we're gonna see who's gonna pull ahead.
Yeah, Renee and Portal are quite close. Finn has fallen behind slightly. But yeah, that can all change in Flipendo.
We forgot to talk about the RNG that Quirrell actually has. 'Cause before and between drawings, there are different lines, and of course some of them are faster, some of them are not. And you can see Renee actually pulled quite a bit in front now.
And yeah, he must have got really good lines aside from being like that slightly bit ahead because of the instant ledge grabs as well.
His efforts got rewarded.
Yeah. There's another cool strat coming up here. So instead of pushing all the flipendo switches, there's a cauldron to the right from just as you escape this cutscene. There's a cauldron on the right, and you can use that to jump on the ledge up top. We see Renee going for it now, and he gets it easily. Very clean. As does Portal. And Finn getting it as
Everyone
well.
gets it.
Very nice. So that lets you skip about 20 seconds of gameplay between going to that platform where you just jump through the cauldron, but going all the way around to that platform takes about 20-25 seconds. And so you can skip all that by getting the cauldron jumped.
Here we're being introduced with a save book by Nearly Headless Nick.
Yep. Just in case you didn't know what a save game book was.
We would never know.
And the best part of it is in speedruns, people don't go for the save book, ever. So Nick does all that for nothing. It's just like the wizard cards all over again.
Yeah, we just ignore. We can beat the game in any percent we want, so we're just not gonna pick up anything.
Very true. And Renee pulling ahead even more. While Portal and Finn are quite close, but Portal is slightly ahead. And here we see a hyper jump from Renee. This is basically to avoid the ledge grabs, and a hyper jump is not frame perfect. There's multiple frames that you can use to get sort of an extended height in your jump. Like a super jump gives you a longer distance and more speed, while a hyper jump is like a baby version of a super jump. Am I right, iMac?
Yes, so basically how these two jumps work, hyper jump works whenever we walk up the slope, we can turn our speed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, someone just rushed into my
Okay.
room. So with hyper jump, as we walk on the slope, we gain a bit of speed and we can turn it into with a jump, gaining a lot of height. And frame perfect jump is when we walk on like a slight step, our camera tips slightly, and we get a lot of speed during that. So when we jump on a specific frame, as we go through that step, we're gonna get a lot of speed. And hopefully we'll not see this during this run, because if someone glitches, they have to reload the save.
Yep. And super jump is a glitch which is not allowed in this category. So we don't want to see those. However, hyper jumps are permitted in Glitchless as well. And we see Renee and Portal in the gnome room while Finn is just making his way there.
Quick free casts and entering the last room, finishing the full pending challenge.
Yep. Very clean. Easily done as well. And Portal missing one cast on the gnome, but still really good. And a quick transition into another cutscene, and then we're done with Flipendo.
Another cutscene.
It's almost
Yeah,
like
but
there wasn't one before.
they're excited about their flying lesson with Madame Hoof.
Yeah, that will be fun.
No.
Did you reckon anyone is going to miss a ring? I suppose not.
We'll see who's the master of a broom and if we will see any rings missed. It's really easy to miss a ring on these, especially
if you're
later
trying to
on.
go fast. Yeah. So in the flying lesson, it's pretty straightforward. The rings appear, you have to fly through them. Some of the hitboxes on these rings are a lot more lenient than they look. So you just need to, you don't need to like go through the dead center of the ring. You can just sort of touch the top or the corner, and I mean not a corner, it's a circle, so there's no corner, but you can just sort of clip through a side of the circle, and it counts as you passing through the ring. However, it's just as easy to miss because while you're trying to speed up and obviously go fast, you can sort of miss the light clip that you would have intended to go for. But let's hope that doesn't happen. And that already happened to Portal. You have to turn
Yep.
around.
But we have a pretty quick backup.
Yep. And
Finn
Finn
missing
is-
a ring as well. As
that's right.
Renee finishes red signpost.
Yeah. Renee's flying through these. Haha.
Do we have time for a very quick donation while we're finishing off line?
Yes.
We did get a $2 donation from Yoshi saying, doing my part, which is all we can ask. $2, $1, anything helps to the Trevor Project, so if you wish to donate but you can't donate a lot, that is completely fine.
And just to get back into the flying updates, Finn has missed 2 rings, while Renee is now finished and Portal is making his way to the exit as well. So here we see Renee pulling ahead by quite a bit. However, it's just the first sort of 15 minutes of the game and it can all change. This is a fairly, well, not long, but it's not a short run.
Yes, everything can happen, especially on the next level that Renee is gonna enter into, which is second floor landing. There are a lot of tricks, and if we miss them, they can actually be kind of painful.
Yeah.
If opponents get them.
Yep. First we see the Alohomora spell drawing, which is the spell to open locks. And Hermione teaches it to us, and also awards points on behalf of Professor Flitwick. I don't know how that is allowed, but you know,
Yeah.
anything goes in Hogwarts apparently.
Hermione's sure Professor Flitwick would give us points, so I
Yep.
guess that works.
Yeah, and Renee is almost done with it, and there he goes into the little, well, it's not really a challenge, but it's like a little segue from the spell drawing, and just before the next level starts, you open a couple doors. She leads you to a magical chest that you can open, but we skip that in the speed run because it loses time and it's not any good. So here we're gonna just ignore the chest, turn around, cast on the lock, and make our way to Charms class, which is where the next lesson is.
Yes, next spell doesn't have anything much interesting. We're gonna do literally the same thing as before, draw the first symbol and then the second one. Here as Renee did, he backwalked into the cutscene, because backwalking makes the camera shift faster during the cutscene, which makes some of them actually faster.
Yep. And just on that note as well, there's 2 main ways that you can backwalk. You can see Portal doing like a literal backwalk, like walking into the cutscene backwards, or you can do the backwalking animation, which is while you still walk forward, you sort of retain the momentum from you having pressed back before, like pressing the back key before, so it keeps that animation and it still works in making the cutscene faster, like Imek explained.
Yes, Finn does that as well.
Yep.
And I guess we have a time for a donation. Or not.
Oh, he's not.
Or not. Okay. So we're gonna continue for the challenge till we'll get a host to read. And well, we can now move blocks.
Yep.
Blocks onto the
Wingardium
large place.
Leviosa.
Yes, Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Right, my bad, sorry. We see that Renee has already entered the challenge while Portal is just entering the challenge, and Finn is finishing the spell drawing. So we can see Renee use the cauldron to skip part of the level just by using the height of the cauldron to jump over a ledge that would otherwise not be jumpable over. You can also flip that cauldron over to make that jump a little bit easier, but it loses a bit of time, so...
It loses a bit of time, and if we miss it, there's no backup. We have to
Right.
we have to go through the challenge casually.
Yeah. And Portal missed it first try, but he's got it now. And here it's very important while we push the Flipendo switches and move the Wingardium blocks over to the designated spots to open up the rest of the challenge, to make sure that the gnomes are knocked out, because if they touch you during a cutscene, that counts as a multitask and it's a glitch, which is not permitted in Glitchless. So it's very important to make sure that the gnomes are knocked out by Flipendo.
Yes, multitask can be done by getting hit in a cutscene, by activating a cutscene, or getting a ledge grab in a cutscene.
Yep.
Which,
And
as the
it's very,
name
very
says,
easy.
we are able to move in a cutscene.
Here we see Renee almost done with the Wingardium challenge. There was a slightly tricky jump, well, not that tricky, but people have been known to struggle with it, myself included, and he's made it very cleanly. We see Portal going up to that jump now, while Renee exits the Wingardium challenge with a sizable lead.
Yes, but here we're talking about as we've been talking about the second floor landing.
Right.
Here's a Thieves fight.
And he's got a good setup for
And
Peeves.
we're over.
Yep.
Beautiful fight.
So you need to make sure the Peeves gets hit 4 times. And you also need to make sure to avoid a multitask in this particular cutscene, because Peeves throws these little things at you. And you want to make sure that when you hit your last Flipendo to him, that he doesn't throw that thing towards you. Are we going to see a Neville skip?
Let's see. Oh, that's what I was talking about. This this cutscene can be skipped by precisely jumping around the trigger, but it's really precise jump, so...
Yeah, and it loses about 20 seconds if you fail it. Alternatively, you can go around the other side and go from, instead of talking to Neville, you can talk to Crab and Goyle, and it's a little bit faster, but there's no way to skip that. We see Portal attempting it as well, while Finn just comes up to the Peeves fight. And Portal gets Neville skip. Very clean.
Now we're gonna see Renee trying to skip the Malfoy fight, which is quite a funny skip that we'll hope to see first try, so we can explain it. Beautiful. So, even though there's a fight with Malfoy, the trigger to leave the castle is still behind him. But if we try to hold forwards as jumping, there's an invisible wall that's gonna push us out, like just Portal did.
Yep.
And what we have to do is to jump and release all the inputs, and hoping that the jump will reach to the trigger. And we can see Finn went for the safer version and just for the faster dialogue.
Yep. Well, Renee and Portal are quite close to each other now because of the Neville skip that Portal got. While Finn makes his way to the Malfoy fight, and it's essentially like a hyper jump off of the carpet and through the trigger. It's like the best way I can sort of understand it.
I think it's just a jump.
Okay, understandable.
Because hyper jump counts on a slope.
True, very true. There isn't a slope there.
We'll see Renee do the strat, where we can hop on the walls of the maze. I mean, maze. It's not a really big maze, but falling down
missed
and going for a backup with snail.
Which
Oh,
is
no.
really scary as well, by the way, because you can get like random super jumps off of the snails. So I think he's just going for the safer alternative, which is flicking the flipendo switches and just moving forward. And Portal misses the first one. So instead of making instead of hitting all the flipendo switches, you can just jump over from the fence to fence and make your way through this maze. And Portal is done with it. He's once he's made it up there, he's done a very clean job of it.
Yes. Finn talking to Hermione that we actually forgot to tell that she's scared of the maze that we have, so we have to go on our own, and she tries to find Neville.
Right.
Excuses. And Rene
Renee.
going into the greenhouse.
Going towards the next spell learning / the challenge, which is Incendio. Just as Finn starts the maze. And it's kind of a visual indication of how far behind Finn has fallen because of well, the flipendo and second floor landing essentially. And
Do you
here,
guys mind if I interject quick? Sorry.
right.
Yes, as I was asking previously.
We just got 2 quick donations. One from Complex Beaver, just saying "Oh hi," and
Hi.
a $20 donation from Goody saying "Good luck to the runners. Quite sad we only have a small event this year," which I'm sure we're all that sad. Maybe we can have some more to make up for it further down the line. So
Exactly. The event is gonna go for entire next day as well.
yes,
In exclamation mark schedule, you can see all the games and runners that are gonna be in. Yeah, as we see, Rene finished the Incendio learning, and Portal did second stage of it as well.
And Finn has just started it. So we see the Incendio challenge. There's not many cool strats in this, as far as I can recall.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, this
I mean,
first one is a backwalk, which is one of the major backwalks in this game. If you miss it, it's quite a considerable time loss, but Renee has got it.
Incendio is a really calm level.
Yeah, it's very, very chill. In Glitchless. And Finn has finished the spell learning as well.
Portal hitting the backwalk as well.
Very clean. Yeah, there's a
Really?
strat where you can hyper jump off of the slope, but and avoid the ledge grab essentially, but Renee didn't go for that. It is one of the more advanced strats, in my opinion.
Small optimizations.
True.
And here, Rene's gonna cast Rudy straight by positioning himself just like that.
Yep.
We skipped the puzzle.
Portal comes up to the room with that flipendo block and the gnomes as well. Finn gets the backwalking way. Now this plant is notorious for causing multitasks because while you have it stunned, it can like unstun itself during the cutscene and it can hit you, and that counts as a multitask. So it's really important to sort of stay as far away from it as is possible. And Renee has avoided it, as has Portal. Wait, no, Portal is just making its way to there. I apologize.
Yeah. So we can talk. This is the first room that game difference is actually showing up, because all of the runners are running on EU version. They're both EU and US. And the reason they play on EU because it has fastest language, which is Norwegian. On the US we can only play in English, I think. I'm not exactly sure. And Norwegian saves quite a bit of time, so that's where it's gonna be used. But the plants have really big hitbox, like larger than. Like you can see Rene moving really far from them to not get hit.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to multitask in the room we've been talking about previously.
Right. Here another interesting strat. Instead of hitting all the 4 individual Flipendo hitboxes, you can just cut on one 4 times and it works the same way. It's a little faster as well.
Rene, skip the last talking with Mr. Sprout.
And he's also got the
skip
Hagrid.
the Hagrid. Yep.
So you can skip both of those cutscenes by just walking around the trigger, and for the Hagrid skip, there's a hyper jump up that one slope. You land on the bush and then go through, and it lets you avoid talking to Hagrid, which I don't know why you would do, but people tend to do it in speedruns.
I would never skip Hagrid.
Never. Oh, and Portal missing.
Ooh.
And he has
Portal
to sit through this.
pressing forwards couple too many times.
Yeah. Well, we see the Remember All chase on Renee's and the big plant on Finn's screen. So it's quite a difference now between the runners.
Yes,
And Portal gets
and
Hagrid as well.
that advantage will be used in next game, because we're not gonna finish on this game. After this, the teammates of current runners are gonna play HP2.
Yep.
And I guess though Rene team will like the advantage, which is Rene's teammate is Felix.
And Finn taking that very carefully and managing to walk around the trigger as well. And he decided to talk to Hagrid, which is great.
And he gets the invite for tea.
Yep. And Renee is finished with the Remember All chase while Portal starts his, and Finn is almost making his way there. So here we're about to come up to what is possibly the most difficult strat in Glitchless. Would you say, IMAC, Forest Edge Skip?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, and if we miss it, we have to play entire level all over again, which is losing like slightly above a minute. So we'll see if runners will actually go for it.
Now, the reason why that strat is so difficult is you're trying to jump out of a log, and getting a hyper jump out of a log will explain more when we get there, but it's very easy to bonk your head on the top of the log. So, and if you lose it, like if you get hit, you just fall down straight into the water and you die, and that's about a minute time lost there.
Yes, we tried to get a. You could see the shape of a log. It's not perfectly a circle in the middle. They're like slightly slopes, so we can use these slopes to get a hyper jump, as we talked before. And if we use quite precise angle, we can make a jump out of it. Here, what Rene did, he walked up to the snails and just ran away because he got scared. But for real, he got something called spell storage.
Yep.
Like a
Doxy storage.
Doxy storage, yes. So yeah, you could see he didn't need to aim. He just shot the spell because he got it from the Doxy that is back there, and he gets a nice hyper jump.
Yeah, that is wonderful. That is clean as. That's the difficult strat that we were talking about. He did not make that look difficult at all, but trust me, it's difficult.
Exactly.
Sources, trust me, bro.
We'll see how Portal will manage through it.
I know that Finn doesn't go for that strat. He goes for a slightly adjusted version of it. So instead of going for the hyper jump through the log, he goes to the top of the log by getting a hyper jump on the other side. And from there you can hit the trigger, and it's a little bit slower, but it's a bit easier as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, sounds really responsible for a participating race, taking things slowly and safer. We'll see how Portal does. And he gets it as well.
Very clean.
We have no upsets.
But the plants were not kind to him.
Comparing plants to what could happen. Oh, and jumping on top of snails.
Yeah, his health is a little bit Monka W, but the good thing about HP1 is that every load or every save book brings you back to half of your health. So it kind of rejuvenates your health in a way.
Even from full?
Yep. No, sorry, not from full. If you're less than half health, I'm so sorry. And we see the great lovable giant Hagrid shooing us off to collect his seeds. I mean, fire seeds.
Yes.
I've heard this level being called a walking simulator as well in Glitchless.
Oh yes, in Glitchless, in Handle, kind of as well. Because there are barely any glitches we can do on that level to save a lot of time.
And we just completely ignore it in any percent. We just sit through the minute and a half or 2 minutes, however long that is.
Yes, we boost off in first enemy to the end trigger and we wait for Hagrid for 2 minutes for some reason.
And we see
We
Finn
can
with
see the exactly, we can see Finn.
and Renee
Gently
got hit by
managing
the-
through it.
But here again, we bring back the concept of doxy storage. So you can see Renee left the second doxy alive. That's because when we move towards the next room, we want to have that flipendo or the doxy storage for that one spell, so we can cast a longer distance than we would be able to. So normally what would happen is you would be able to cast flipendo from a very close distance. And only on things that you would see the flipendo symbol for. However, with doxy storage, you can aim it pretty much anywhere and just cast flipendo.
It's not a glitch, by the way.
Yeah, that's not a glitch.
Not a glitch.
And we see Portal coming up to that spot as well.
Skipping the frog. Portal is on quite low health.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice. I would have gone for that frog.
These snails. These snails look really friendly, but they're not, because if we barely step on top of their slime, we get quite a bit of damage. But he got the save book, so I guess that's a really optimal option. And then he gets a ledge grab. And Finn leaves the hut,
Yeah, he's just
seeking the
making his
adventure
way into the
to
living
Fire
room.
Seeds. And
Portal's struggling a bit with the boulder.
here we can see a fire crab. Yeah, hello and bye, because nothing happens.
Here, an interesting strat that we do with the flipendo storage as well. We cast on the fire seed plant just before we walk into the cutscene, so that the fire seeds fall off and they have time to cool down during that cutscene as well. Because otherwise we would go through the cutscene, then cast on it, and then wait for the seeds to cool down. So we just we use the doxy storage that we have from before and cast on it before we walk into the cutscene, and then let the cutscene play out and the seeds cool down in that time, and then you can just go in and collect them.
And that's the only fire seeds we're collecting.
Yep. Because this isn't Hundo and we don't need to collect all of them. Hagrid would give you the card if you had all of them, but I suppose wizard cards don't have any use in this run, so you can tell by the way, because from the first one that we just completely ignored.
unfortunately.
We don't care for the wizard cards here.
So yeah,
And
everyone in fire seats, but Rene's actually leaving.
yeah. And Renee is done with fire seeds while Finn is just about started and Portal is somewhere in the middle of it. So it's a nice visual indication of how far apart they are.
Here Portal has to be actually quite careful, because if we jump too early, we can soft lock. That's one of the funniest soft lock, because
Oh my god.
as I said, good he didn't went forwards there, because it could happen. So basically, we can kill the model, but we cannot kill the camera, so we would be on free cam all the time, which is really funny.
But it's
But
also a soft.
yeah, it's a softlock, so softlocks are not fun during marathon, but thankfully there was a save book he grabbed, and
Yeah, but that is like a good chunk of time lost, and now Finn is catching up as Portal makes his way through, and Renee has some time to calm down and relax a bit because this is a really long cutscene. So Portal
Portal
almost.
reaching the ending.
While Renee goes through to Quidditch, like the spell learning, Quidditch also has some RNG. In number one, the snitch, like being able to catch the snitch, has a tiny bit of RNG, and also the voice lines from Lee Jordan, they can be longer or shorter depending on what the fates have decided that day or that run.
Yeah. We'll see if Jordan is passionate about the match or he just doesn't care and wants to go home.
Oh,
Oh,
and
what Finn!
Oh, that snail
Test-
was brutal.
testing if Snail is solid, and yes it is.
And chilling time for Portal at the moment while Renee runs to catch the snitch.
Rumpeldunk.
Amen.
We'll see how fast he'll get it. These matches are usually really short. As you can see, good RNG.
Also, Renee is the world record holder for Quidditch League in this game. It's an IL, which is just a bunch of Quidditch matches in a row. So yeah, would expect nothing less from him.
Yes. Portal enters Quidditch. Renee leaves Quidditch.
And Finn is chilling at the moment and watching
Hatching the egg.
Norberta, my apologies, do not want to misgender the dragon.
Yes.
Now the next level is Lumos, while Renee is going to enter it. This is a bit of a long walk. There's going to be a couple of cutscenes before we get to the level. And we watch Portal almost starting the Quidditch game. I'd forgotten how long this Quidditch cutscene is.
Yeah, match is really short compared to cutscenes.
Yeah.
Just like this entire game.
I mean, what? Alright, let's see how Portal's Snitch RNG fares today. I'm pretty good.
Slightly worse than Renee's, but still really good. Acceptable.
And Finn starting the Quidditch match while Portal finishes. And that's good that Renee bumped the "please stop that" guy, because otherwise the run would be invalid.
Unfortunately, it's Norwegian, so
yeah, he doesn't
it's
say
not the
please.
same. Oh, Renee!
Missing the staircase going up thing. It's a little faster than
Fast movement on Dynasty.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Thank you.
Yes.
And there's
And
another
back walking
cutscene.
into this cutscene.
Oh, So we see Snape is apparently the suspicious guy, and we have to keep an eye out for him.
Only we can actually get a wall clip here to skip that cutscene, and we can literally walk up to this door and see Snape through it.
Here,
Just chilling.
that's a glitch that we abuse in any percent, but is unfortunately banned in Glitchless, and Finn's struggling a bit with the snitch, but catching it ultimately. And Renee almost finished with the cutscene, and then he'll make his way to the Lumos classroom, or the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, where he's going to learn Lumos, which is the last spell as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, because this is the last lesson we're gonna have finally. And challenge is pretty long,
Yeah,
so any mistakes can happen.
and Portal getting the optimal movement up until the last set of stairs, but really doing really well overall. Getting the back walk as well, I think.
Yeah. You can storage the backhook with a jump, so that's what Portal did. He first put the backhook animation, then jumped and held forward.
Mhm. Yeah, and the jump method is also really useful when you're not entirely sure where the cutscene trigger starts. Because with backwalking, like without turning backwards, that's one of the things that can cause issues, because you have to store the backwalk and then walk forwards. So you have to be kind of aware of where the triggers are, but when you jump, you don't need to be as careful. While we see Renee going into the Lumos not the spell learning, Lumos challenge.
Yes.
And Portal makes his way to the classroom.
Yep.
And Finn falling off the stairs, but falling off the railings and going through the stairs. And back walking into the cutscene as well.
Yeah, runners are relatively close to each other. There's not like a gigantic gap, like Renee's close to Portal and Finn is close to Portal, so
It can all still change very much.
yeah, everything can happen.
Yeah. And not to mention, we still have a whole game to go through after this. So any kind of lead in this can still be turned around in HP2. So we see Portal making his way to the challenge as well, and Renee going through the Lumos platforms that have been lit up. Relatively straightforward as a challenge. There's one cool strat coming up relatively soon. It's called the Lumos Snipe. But we can talk about it when we get there.
Yes.
And Finn starts his spell learning for Lumos, while Portal just starts the challenge. Okay, now this gargoyle, once you hit it, it starts the platform that kind of moves up and down. You want to make sure that you catch the cycle, and Renee has done it, because you don't want to be coming back and have the platform, going back up all the way.
Yep.
And this is where the Lumos Snipe comes in. So you line yourself up with this gargoyle and sort of cast Lumos onto the gargoyle that is just in front directly. And Renee gets it. Very clean. He missed it the first time, but got it the second time.
Yeah, we need to be like not too close to the gargoyle, but not too far from it, because if we're too close, we're gonna cast it from behind us, and then we cannot do the trick again. And if we are too far, as Rennie did, he could not cast.
Right. So you want to be at just the right distance.
Yes.
And Finn starts the Lumos challenge as well, while Renee hits the Doxy and misses the Lumos cast. And once again, this starts a platform. And one interesting thing that is there's a platform that is always there. It's just invisible. You don't need to cast on the second Lumos gargoyle to activate that. You can just jump on it and it'll always be there. Renee killing Doxies for good measure because they can bump into you during a cutscene, causing a multitask, or they can knock you off during the ledge climbing animation, in which case you just fall off.
Portal getting the snipe as well.
Yep, very good. While Renee doing the blind walk-in, when we get out of this cutscene, we'll see how well he's done. Not too bad. And he is making his way across, and once we are through this section, we get back on top of the platform that we just activated, and if he has done everything properly, he will catch the cycle.
Oh,
I guess he's a little too fast, and he missed the cycle. But he's making it back up now.
I mean, yeah, I guess too fast. So, like,
Yeah.
nothing happened because it's not usual to. We cannot catch the faster cycle than that. I think. I'm not an expert in Glitchless, as people know. Will Finn make the cycle here? He cast it pretty close to the gargoyle.
This cycle is kind of forgiving as compared to the other one, yeah. So
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
just about catches it with the ledge grab. As Renee goes towards the end of the level trigger, we can see another cool strat. We'll be able to see if he makes it or not. You can skip talking to Quirrell just as you did with Professor Sprout. So you can like just walk through the trigger, like from if you just go to the side, you can navigate yourself through the trigger and just go to the end level trigger directly and not the cutscene trigger.
Beautiful.
Which Renee got it very clean.
And all the runners hit the gargoyle snipe, which is very nice to see.
Yep.
And no one goes for the star in the middle because it has a really, I would say maybe not liked surprise.
And Portal almost finishing Lumos as well. While Renee starts the potions class with everyone's favorite teacher, Professor Snape. Right?
Yeah,
Right?
I love making potions.
Oh, and we see Portal going for the frog while he waits for the platform to come round and make the cycle, which is very interesting. Oh, and
I don't know why this frog is stuck in the ground, like halfway.
And we'll see if Portal makes the cutscene skip as well. Oh, and jumping a little too early there.
Oh.
I'm struggling to get on top of the block there.
Oh, taking it really safely.
Yeah. But managing to get the cutscene skip. As Finn makes his way through to the platform with the little Lumos.
He's gonna grab the first ingredient. Oh no.
And Finn missing the cycle, unfortunately, so he has to wait for the block to come back down. Sorry, the platform.
And Renee got just bricked by some.
Yep. And Finn forgetting to cast on the Lumos, I think.
Oh.
And now he's realized and gone back to cast on it. There we go.
There is a platform that we can land on, but as you can see in the cutscene, it starts over there, so we can only land there without casting Lumos.
Yeah. Which is a tiny bit difficult in Glitchless to make it all the way over there with legal means.
Okay. Any percent makes it all the time.
True. And we have Renee coming up to the moving platforms in potions while Portal is going through the cutscene. And we'll and Finn
Oh,
missing
Finn.
scene skip trigger. And Portal is about to be tricked.
Oh no. And fell down.
Yep. And Renee casting on the Flipendo switch a bit early, but just minor optimization. Having to avoid that jump over to that ledge and casting then. And also just using the speed from the platform, like the moving platform boost essentially, to make his way through a block and just like skipping the platform entirely and making his way to the end platform. And he encounters the Bloody Baron, which is very interesting because if you jump, you cancel out the damage. Well, you don't really cancel it out. You don't get damaged by him at all. So jumping equals no ghost attacks.
Yes. We do it always also on the way to greenhouse. We just spam the
Yeah.
jump and don't get hit by any plants. We forgot to tell that, but now you know. Here we're gonna see block skip. Yes, that's what this strat is called.
I didn't even know it had a name.
It had a name because this trick has quite a story. But yeah,
Okay.
he pulled this off and goes to second part of Dungeon Potion.
So you avoid moving 2 blocks by essentially just using the 1 block to put it in on top of both the block holders. I can't think of the right word.
Finn getting tricked backwards.
Yep. It's a dig.
Oh, Portal! Barely grabbing the platform.
Yeah, that was sketchy, but he looks alright. And you can see how much speed that moving platform gives you as they jump off. It looks like Harry could go so far, but that's just the moving platform boost. And it's very impressive. And Portal making his way through to Bloody Baron and into the room with the gnomes. And there's lots of gnomes. You just cast on them.
Yeah, speaking of moving platform boost, it's gonna be used in HP2 as well. So
Yeah.
can't wait to see it. Because the games are on the same engine, so most of the strats are gonna be the same. At least, except we can walk vertically there, finally.
Yeah, HP2 allows strafing while there is no strafing in HP1.
In HP1, we're tank.
And we see Portal getting the block skip as well. And making his way to the second part of potions. And
Oh, what happened?
he just missed the jump. I think he just jumped too early there.
I was
Oh my
watching Finn fighting with a switch.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, it's gonna give Finn time to catch up, and Finn waits here for the platform. As opposed to Renee and Portal, whom we saw just land on the platform and then hit the switches. Finn hits the switches first, and Renee is done with potions, by the way.
Yeah.
Just in the
This Portal's another death, but another really close to the save book, so the time loss is really not that big. So
could be a lot worse.
yes, this game mistakes are quite big. Like if you make a mistake in this game, it's not gonna be like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a minute or two. Don't worry.
And Portal making that jump as well. I was a little worried about the jump there, but he has made it. While we see Finn attempting block skip. And Renee moves on to the troll.
Oh. Beautiful. Taking it really safe.
And we see Finn setting it up.
Beautiful, blocking the cage with himself and placing the bucket.
Wonderful. So Finn makes it to the second pass of potions as well. And Renee starts to run from the troll. Now this is fairly straightforward. There's a couple things. There's one particular pixel that just it was just not coded in. So while it looks like a solid floor, you can fall through it. It has happened to Renee maybe 3 times. And you can also get stuck on the walls while you jump. So that's another thing that you want to avoid. Otherwise, it's fairly straightforward. You just run and jump when you see a hole.
And the beans actually guide you, so it's relatively simple.
Yeah. And
Portal losing points to Snape.
Yeah. Because he was just himself, and Snape doesn't like that.
He was late again.
Well, that too. And Finn making that jump as well. It looks very scary, but it's not too bad. Renee finishing the troll chase and now has to defend Hermione from the troll. Well, Portal is about to start the troll chase, and Finn is about to get into the troll chase as he finishes up potions. Well, he's still got the long cutscene to sit through.
Portal on the way to Troll. You could see Ron actually get stuck on the way there. I don't know why. He got so excited he just forgot how to walk properly. Or he wasn't good, well coded. That's
Yep.
most of this game. Because this game was made really quickly. The project was really
rushed.
I would not say bad planned, but devs didn't have much time to make the game.
Yeah. And we see Renee casting on all the little bits that the troll's throwing at him. So the sinks, the toilets, I don't know, everything else. You want to make sure that Ron doesn't get hit, because every hit to Ron's head loses about 10 seconds.
Yes.
So you want to make sure that you knock it out of the way with the flipendo before it reaches Ron's head.
Yeah. So
and-
here's a fight with a troll, chase from the troll, and leaving Snape.
Portal finishing up the troll chase almost, and Finn is about to start.
And Renee is bashed the troll, and he's not dead, he's just being knocked out. So don't worry, guys.
Good old Pokemon strat. They're not dead, they've just fainted.
Yes.
And we see now Portal has to defend Hermione, and Finn has to run away from the troll.
And what is the best thing to do after defeating a big troll? Play Quidditch. And that's what Renee gonna do.
So Finn starts running away from the troll as Portal tries to knock everything out of the troll's hands. I see what the Snitch RNG is like for this time for Renee, because it was really good the first time around. You finished it relatively quickly.
Wait, okay.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I thought the Snitch is gonna play around with him, but I guess the Snitch is really nice for marathons. And Portal getting hit,
That loses about 10 seconds.
unfortunately.
Yep. And I suppose he's going to be extra careful now. To make sure that Ron doesn't get hit, and to make sure that the troll gets bonked on the head as quickly as possible. And we see Finn finishing up the chase and going on to defend Hermione now. And he's making it He's making the time up to Portal while Portal's the death in potions and being knocked in the head. You can see the impact that it has.
Jeg tror vi akkurat har greid å slå det i svime. Kom an, la oss komme oss ut herfra.
And now it looks like Renee and Portal are in the same cutscene, but it's a really long cutscene, and Renee is out of it as well now. Now the big part of, well, possibly the most scary part of this game and this run is Filch, where everything can go wrong. And
Yes.
yeah, you just have to take it slow, but not too slow, because at the end of the day, this is a speedrun. Am I right?
Yes. There's like we can take it easy and sort of casually, but we can also save a lot of time by like playing around him, make him walk out of the spots we're waiting for him. You can play around, but it's also pretty risky, so we'll see what Rennie goes for.
Yeah. Oh, I'm missing the first cast. Being a little too far, and the Snitch was trolling a bit with Portal, but he's caught it eventually. Now the first sort of cool strat in Filch comes into play in this bit, where you just walk to the end of the bookcase and like if you walk to the corner, Filch cannot see you, and then you just walk around him. So that's one of the strats / optimizations, whatever you want to call it. Renee going
Filch
for
cannot
this
see us because we have invisibility cloak. He can hear us. He will not hear us on the carpet unless we fall down on it.
Yep.
But he can hear us on the planks. So later on we'll see if Renee will go for it. He'll fall down next to the Filch on a carpet and make him walk out the spot.
We're about
We'll
to
see if he goes
that
for it.
here. I do
we
think
haven't-
Renee does go for it.
We have an interesting message from Portal saying copium.
Opium.
Yes.
There we go.
We see Renee.
You can see Renee falling down right in front of Filch, and then as he's still on the carpet, Filch cannot hear him, and he can hit the trigger and just move around him relatively easily. While Portal
Yes.
starts the Filch sneak, and Snitch trolling Finn a bit. Oh dear. Trolling him a lot, in fact. And he's finally caught it. Let's go. Renee casts on the Lumos to make sure the platforms in the next room are lit up.
Yes. So far, no glitches, which is really good.
Yep. I think we're past the worst of it. Hopefully, because I feel like up until Incendio is where the most glitches happen generally.
The game is really mysterious. Sometimes you can glitch without knowing it's a glitch, so
Very true. So we see Portal with the first sort of difficult bit of Filch, and he looks like he's on the wood there, but okay, not he's just made it through, not being hurt by Filch, and making his way around.
and now everyone is on Filch.
Yep.
Pretty good race.
Yeah, and Portal with the difficult strat again. Jumping right in front of Filch, and as he stays on the carpet, not being heard.
Really good.
Yep, very clean from Portal as well.
Renee finished activating all the Lumos statues, so he'll just go to the last part of this first stage, because first we go up to the tower, and then we have to go back. So
Yeah. So we'll see how Renee does here. It's slightly sketchy. Like you have to be really precise with this, and Finn getting caught there.
oh
Oh, and Renee getting caught as well, but he's activated the cutscene, so it cancels out the being caught part. And this isn't a glitch. This is perfectly valid, by the way. So
yes,
Renee has made it through, and Finn has to restart the entire level basically.
yeah. Finn casted too far from the switch, which is a pretty common mistake.
Mm-hmm.
As Renee.
Renee going up the tower. Another interesting thing to note is that while he was on the bridge, he jumped up like a slope and landed on the railing of the bridge, and he went to like the very, very extreme end of it. That's because if you're in the middle of the railing, you can still trigger a cutscene which involves Peeves coming out of one of those pots on the thing. And you want to make sure that that doesn't happen because that loses time.
Yes. And also backwalking into the last cutscene is really crucial, because if we're not gonna backwalk, we're losing 9 seconds. And that's like a hilarious difference for just walking backwards.
Yeah, that's one of the big ones as well, isn't it?
Yes,
9
the
seconds.
biggest one is gonna be later.
Yeah, the fluffy one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. And we see Finn making it out of room 1, and he is in room 2 of the first part of Filch, while Portal is almost finished with the first part. And we see Renee going for the easier strat. You just walk around the bookcases to get Filch sort of stuck behind them, and then make your way through to the next room. We'll see what Portal goes for here. Or Portal decides to wait and let Filch cross to the side. We saw the more risky version of this with Renee, where he just went to the left and casted on the Flipendo switch while being outside and while having Filch, in his line of sight. And he was caught, but it's lucky that that cutscene plays out and lets you sort of skip that.
We can see Finn taking it really safely by standing on top of the bookcase. We're able to cast at the door. And then Filch realizes, hey, someone opened my door. So he walks back and guards the place again.
Yeah. But yeah, probably a good idea to take it slow, then be caught, because that means you'd have to play the entire room again. Also, an interesting fact to note about that room is that Filch only notices when you cast Alohomora. When you cast Flipendo, he doesn't really care. He's like, yeah, cool, you can flick around as many switches as you want. Just if you open my door, that's when I'm gonna be mad.
Yes. We can see Portal starts going down the tower now. Or he went already from tower, going back to common room.
We see Renee in the cutscene for the fancy mirror, the mirror of Erisid, which is desire spelled backwards. Fun fact, which I'm pretty sure everybody knew already, but
No. Okay. Finn, chilling, gonna activate all the Lumos spells so he can easily platform up. Oh, Portal going for risky strat.
And getting caught. Oh, and
That deserves another copium on his layout, I think.
yeah. He has to
I'm
start
sure he'll be
from-
fine.
Yeah, I'm sure as well. He'll be okay. He has to start from Filch 2 all over again. Luckily, it's not that bad. It could still be worse. As Renee makes his way to what is probably the last room of this entire thing, which is also really crucial because you can soft lock there, you can be caught. It's a whole thing.
So basically, in this giant room, we have 4 side rooms, two on one side. That we have to place a block in, and Norris is on one side and Filch is on the other side.
Yep. Extremely risky room. There's an optimal strat for this. You go through all the rooms on the right before and then go to the on the left. Oh, and we see Renee with the most recently found strat for that room, which allows you to cast Wingardium from a longer distance away. That's because the distance depends on how the camera is facing rather than how Harry's facing. So you can cast Wingardium from pretty much the entrance of the room as opposed to walking into the room and going through.
Yeah, makes the cycles slightly different, but I guess since Rene goes for it, he knows how to do it properly, so...
Yeah. And we see Finn starting the final room in Filch 1 and taking it really nice and slow to avoid the Peeves cutscene and going up the tower.
Yes.
As Renee gets the final block on the platform and he's about to finish the level. And Peeves gets a little warning from Filch about being banished for this, but we know nothing ever happens to Peeves because he's a beloved character.
Yes, he said he will be banished for this, but still we find him in second game and first.
That's like really good.
It's like the 126.30 the pace.
Renee makes it out of the final room and has a Fred and George cutscene skip that you can avoid just by walking around the little platform that comes up here. It's one of the easiest cutscenes to avoid. Yep, there you go, easy peasy, and he is on the level. As Portal makes his way to final room in Filch with the difficult blocks. We'll see what strat he goes for.
I think everyone got caught except Rennie.
Believe so, yeah. Yeah, Renee has been on really good pace today. I'm not entirely sure if this is PB pace. I doubt it.
Well, we don't know if he runs a timer in background because this race is in real time and runners are obviously using the hammer without the loads. That's really slight difference because loads are relatively quick on this version.
True. And we see Portal going for a slightly different strat than what Renee went for, but still quite a bit faster than the usual strat, because in that strat you have to go all the way up to the block and leave like sort of 1 block distance between the block and you or Harry.
Yes.
Oh, and Portal's struggling a bit with that block. But gets it on. As Finn back walks into the mirror cutscene while Renee makes his way to Fluffy.
Yeah. Quite elite, but as we say from the beginning, everything can change.
Yep. Portal
Glitches, deaths, everything.
Yeah, very true. And with Fluffy, there is a bit of RNG in which of the heads gets put to sleep the fastest. So you have to play the flute in a way that you go from slowest to fastest. So the slowest one first, then the second one, and then the fastest one. So the RNG decides which head is the fastest, and we see Renee with, I think it's right, middle, left.
Yes, he gets a good order.
Yep. And Portal is finished with the final room, and he's about to make his way out of Filch while Finn makes his way to the final room. And Renee has put Fluffy to sleep. Good doggo.
Yes. Doggo and bed.
Yeah.
Actually, here's a funny glitch that any EU can, like any EU run can do. Here we can still play the flute that will cause a multitask in the cutscene.
Yeah. It can also soft lock.
Yeah, you can, obviously,
But yeah, it is a fun little thing to try out.
maybe not try out during a run, but
During a run, especially not during a run that's maybe like PB pace. Maybe just on a casual run, you know.
as Finn enters the last room in Filch, and you can see Filch sliding away of the cutscene.
That was the slide of dreams on that cutscene. He has slid out of view. And we see Renee casting Incendio on Devil's Snare because it hates light. And we see Finn with a normal strat, which is going up close to the block and then casting Wingardium. It's considerably slower than what Renee and Portal have done, but I don't think taking it risky in this room is smart. As somebody who's lost many runs to this room, maybe taking it slow is the best.
Finn goes for a different order, and he's gonna wait out the Filch here.
And as we've got the invisibility cloak on, he cannot see us.
And as we said before, after Filch, we have more copium.
Yep, a Copium X69 from Portal. And Renee tries to catch the keys. And that is good keys. We see Portal making his way into Fluffy and forgetting the trigger.
Portal! He tried to backwalk and he
did not
stopped
work.
right in front of the cutscene. And dies 11 seconds for this cutscene,
Oh
unfortunately.
gosh. Yeah, that's going to be that's unfortunate. And it feels a lot slower as well, actually.
Yeah, with backwalking it goes faster and we have access to the movement earlier.
As we see Renee makes his way up to the chessboard and he's going to try the chess skip. Very interesting. Chess skip is essentially you can hyper jump off to this doorway and then use the invisible collision on top and make your way through to the board directly. So you can avoid this cutscene that he has to go in now because he missed chess skip.
It looks 50 times harder than it looks. Because
Yeah.
people just look like, oh yeah, it's just a jump.
It's very difficult.
Exactly. Really rarely used by runners.
And we see Portal has put Fluffy to sleep and is about to go into Devil's Snare while Finn escapes Filch and will be going into Fluffy very soon. Now with the
Finn.
chest. Yep, sorry.
Yeah, explain, sorry.
No, so with the chest, it's relatively easy. You just navigate diagonally from the first sort of white block that's in front of you and then just go diagonally and you can avoid all the attacks that way.
Yes.
And it's also the fastest.
Pretty fast. And yeah, Finn exited Filch.
Yep.
Navigate.
Who has Devil's Snare to tackle?
Yeah, all the runners in the end game, so they're gonna finish relatively close to each other.
And
But,
because it's a real, we will see, I think, an immediate handover. Like, just as Renee finishes, I think Felix will take his place. For Portal, Tedder's gonna be starting HB2, and for Finn, Ryan will be playing HB2.
Du må få tak i nøkkelen, Harry.
Here's one of
Now-
the crucial skips that we get. So we can make a hyper jump of these stairs like in front over the. So basically, if we try to exit, we're gonna instantly die.
Yeah, because
But
of
we
the
can
fire.
slightly jump over it, and you can see he's gonna set up and make it through. Beautiful.
Yep, very beautiful. And Renee has a very free setup for this, which worked. We can see it worked really well for him, and he has made it through the potion skip. Now, the puzzle is a pain to get right, and also to, you know, just navigate around. Basically, it's really difficult to remember, and that skip saves a lot of time.
Because there's a lot of solving, and every solving is a cutscene another, so yeah.
Yeah.
Håper det går bra.
But death causes much more.
Yeah. And we see Renee going up to meet Quirrell and realizing that it wasn't Snape, in fact, who was the bad guy. This comes as a surprise to me personally. And Portal's got chess skip, by the way. You can see
Beautiful.
him
Is he
using
gonna
the
soft lock?
No.
No, he's not.
very neat.
If you jump too far, you can soft lock.
Yeah.
Or too close. Either way. Oh, but Renee gets machine
Oh
gunned?
my god.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Oh, that is unfortunate. He fell down because Quirrell wouldn't stop casting the funny green spell.
And this time he let him through.
Yeah. As Finn has finished putting the doggo to bed and is about to go into Devil's Snare. And Portal is just about done with the chessing.
Just finished, and he's gonna enter the last
Kom, så går vi videre.
level.
And Portal's coming up to the all-important potion skip as well. It's taking the save book just to be safe.
Å nei! Utgangen er sperret
And we have
med magisk
Renee
pil.
going for the
Du må
final
visst velge den riktige
boss
eliksiren.
fight.
Vær forsiktig, Harry. Det kan være
Yo,
gift.
Quirrell.
Yep.
Denne ser ut som den kan hjelpe oss
What
gjennom
is he
tiden.
doing?
Hold nøye oppsyn
Oh
med den
my
riktige
god.
eliksiren.
That's
Så gjelder det å
Voldemort
velge
at the
klokt.
back of his head. What a surprise. And he has just lit up the entire place, and it's
Let's
in
see
flames.
Portal. Ice on Portal. Beautiful.
And it's great. He took a little bit of time to set it up, but it worked wonderfully.
It's worth any second to set it up.
Yeah,
Then
I always
missing
say
it.
taking 2 seconds to like set up a strat is much faster than losing 30 seconds to dying.
Yep.
Vipendo! Vipendo! Vipendo!
Renee easily manipulates Voldemort to hit himself. I don't know why is he casting at the mirror to hit himself.
Yep. A little
Weird.
silly, but that's okay. He's done with the first phase of Voldemort. The first phase is essentially when the long pillars are up, and when you've hit him through like halfway to his health, he gets really mad that how dare you, and then he destroys all the long pillars and only the tiny ones are left. And this is another strat that you can do if you have full health. You can tank some of the health and use damage boosting to get Voldemort to hit himself. And you can see Renee going for the 3 perfect damage strats and having to adjust the mirror slightly, but he is done. And
That's the time for HP1. 127.33, and we can see HP2 by
There we go. That's a
Felix.
very clean handover between the teammates. And we see Felix coming on with HP2. While Portal makes his way to the final boss fight, and Finn is about to go on to the chessboard.
Oh, look at the game, it's so much better. We can walk diagonally, so good. And okay, so we're gonna start talking about HP2. Felix is gonna try to do Willow Skip and hit it. The
Lovely.
strat saves around 15 seconds, something like
Yeah.
that. Beautiful, and yeah, there's not gonna be much interesting other than getting to the castle and going to our first lesson. So we can talk about Portal, about to start the fight with Voldemort. We already know who that guy is from Rennie POV.
And Felix finishes up Willow. And Finn is navigating through chess. We see Portal manipulating Voldemort as well, and he's doing it really cleanly so far. And there we go. Another hit, and he gets really angry and smashes all the long pillars. There we go.
As you can see in HP2, we're already for like almost 2 minutes, and there hasn't been a single cutscene. That is definitely not an HP1 moment.
That is because you can skip the cutscenes in HP2, which
Yes.
is pretty cool. As Finn is now on to potion skip, bit of a crucial moment. And we see Portal going for the damage strats now. And that's a clean hit. And another hit, and we should be good while Felix makes her way into the Rictus Emperor classroom. Now in Glitchless, you can avoid having to do the spell learning. And Finn dying to potion skip. Oh, that will be costly.
And we have a switch from Portal to Tether.
Header, yep. And Header starts HP2. While Finn is still going to attempt potion skip once again. Big moment. Willow skip, and Header gets it. Very clean, very nice.
Yes, that is really good at Glitchless, his main category.
And Finn getting it second try, he took the time to set it up, and it paid off.
Oh yeah, as we can see, Felix is failing the arrow keys in Rictus Emperor. That's actually intentional, because doing arrow keys is significantly slower, because we're getting points, and then we're gonna sit longer in the bean bonus room. And
we don't want that.
Yes, we don't want that. So in any percent bean bonus room, it's like between 10 or 20 seconds. In this, if we skip the arrow keys, it's between 10 and 50 seconds. So RNG can be a big impact on this game, for this race.
Yeah, which is why you may have seen quite a few people resetting to get good RNG in HP2 Glitchless. Basically, the amount of Slytherin house points decides how long you spend in the Bean bonus room, because that's the difference between the Gryffindor house points and the Slytherin house points. Also, you want to avoid picking up any stars in Rictus Emperor, because any added stars gives sort of that much more time in the Bean bonus room. And we see Finn avoiding Machine Gun Quirrell.
Low health, but making it through. Trying to backward here. It doesn't save time, I think.
No, I don't think either. But he is gonna go for all the frogs. And get full health and backwalk into the final boss fight. As Tedda starts the Rictus Emperor spell learning.
Och koncentrera dig på symbolen framför dig. Ser du trollstaven? Den kommer att börja röra sig längs symbolen.
Teammates cheering their teammates in chat.
Trycker du på motsvarande
HP1 racers.
Den här övningen har 3 delar. Du måste träffa alla
Here Felix perfectly executed.
Yep.
Är du beredd att försöka?
By jumping backwards and forwards, you can grab the ledge above us, skipping having to push the crabs in.
And this puzzle has, you just want the door in front of you to open up so you can go through and proceed with the challenge. So you hit on the flipendo blocks according to that.
Oh, what's good?
Whoa, that camera was so shaky.
Finn walked into Voldemort and something weird happened here.
Yeah, that I've not seen that before. And I think he's also missed the first hit on Voldemort in the mirror.
Yes.
And he's trying to adjust for it, and he has done it now. We have Angie Voldemort destroying everything, and Finn goes for the damage trap first.
Even when the Voldemort is cheating, he's losing. Unfortunate.
Yep. As Tedda makes his way into the Rictus Emperor spell challenge.
And Felix is getting to the last room. This is the most annoying room in early game, because these crabs can behave really unnaturally.
Yep,
As you can see on the here.
Yeah, the crabs can slide off their path and not go into the pit, and you have to drop down from where you were and go back to the bottom floor essentially, just to make sure that you can get all the crabs in. And Finn finishing while Ryan starts HB2, and he's looking at house points.
Setting up, losing time, I don't know.
Yeah, one of
Alright,
those.
then we're all in HP2. As Finn finished the game.
Haha, nice.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Heather not getting a soft lock.
Yeah.
Here's a rare soft lock we can get here.
HB2 soft locks can happen in pretty much every room.
Where
You can
there,
see how many house points Felix had.
when there's a crab, there's a soft lock.
Yeah.
Essentially. That looks like a bad RNG. I don't know if that's the worst one or like second worst one.
Yeah, but it's not good. And Ryan getting Willow skip quite nicely. There's still a sizable lead. On
3 out of 3 Willow skips. Very nice.
As Tedda makes his way to the chasm jump, you can avoid platforming down the sides by just dumping directly onto this platform. And Felix goes to play Quidditch with the lovely Oliver Wood.
Felix enters the auto scroller where we can only lose time.
Yeah.
Really nicely.
Very, very different from HP1 Quidditch, where you actually have to patch the snitch. Here you just sit back and, you know, click your left mouse button once the snitch bar is full.
They're getting a really nice strat by getting a 1 push. So if we cast on the crab mid-air, the momentum can push it into. And Ryan checking the RNG, his muscle memory of resetting just turned into it. Like, you don't have to check the RNG, because you're not gonna reset either way.
Yeah. As we see Tedda in the final room of Rictus Emperor. And Ryan makes his way to the class. And we see
As you can
Felix-
see on Ryan's, the stair collision, like when the game was made, the collision was on sale, so game devs just took a lot of that collision, and we can land literally in front of the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, that staircase is very, very forgiving, although I have seen people fall off it. Not naming any names, obviously, but
Obviously.
and we see Tedda in the bean bonus room now, while Felix makes the potion, and Ryan starts the spell learning.
They're getting much better RNG. I think he gets. I think that's like second best, or maybe third. That's like definitely faster than Felix. Felix spent
Yeah.
a lot of time there.
And now Felix has to go to the second spell learning, which is Scourge.
Ryan playing with arrow keys.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is he gonna finish?
Oh,
Oh, he missed.
Us
Unfortunate.
with
Pretty
the-
difficult for
Yeah.
game for kids.
Now from Scourge onwards, you do all the arrow keys in Glitchless as well, but Scourge is notorious for fake inputs, so we'll see if RNG has blessed Felix today or not. We've seen it's not been the kindest in the bean bonus room, but hopefully she gets a little bit better RNG in the fake input department.
Oh, as it said in chat, Ryan could get a fake correct input, which
Yeah.
would complete the first round. This would be a good karma for him. But unfortunately it did not happen.
Yeah, and Felix going through the first round without any fake inputs, and Tedda catches the snitch. Well,
Getting
about to
hit
catch
by
the
a blazer, that's a second unfortunate.
Yep. But finishing Quidditch finally, and now going through to potions. As Ryan starts Rictus Emperor. For Ryan to make up all this time, he would have been grateful for the 120 FPS Rictus skip strat, but unfortunately we no longer do that on 60 FPS capping. So Ryan has to play through the entire level.
Yes. We'll see Felix on the last round.
Yep, looking good so far. And
Okay.
there we go. No fake inputs for Felix.
Monster
Tedda-
took all the fake inputs last round.
Yeah. He wanted the glitchless people to have a clean run without fake inputs. Now Tedda makes his way through to Scourge, and you can see how much of an impact that Bean Bonus Room RNG had, because Tedda has caught up considerably.
Here's the
Felix is-
example of the moving platform boost, as we said before.
The first one, well, not the first one, but the first one of this room / this challenge.
Oh yeah, the first one was in Willow with it.
Yeah.
And
Felix getting the early
missing
hit
the.
on people as well.
I think that missed.
Really?
I think.
She started with like well, regardless, it's
I
done
thought that
now.
was the second hit at the start. I mean, either way, yeah, it's dead.
Yeah. Now this is a very cool strat. You just jump into the collision and stop the gate from closing all the way. And Ryan missing chasm jump. And
Yeah, I wanted to say that.
yeah, I'm losing half of his health as well as a lot of time. Which doesn't help him because he's already quite behind. But Teddy going through first round. No fake input so far. Ryan having to go for that frog.
And here's a funny skip. We also do. Wait,
Yep.
just it works through. If you walk on the side, on the side of one of the sides, that really makes sense. It just doesn't activate. So
Yeah. That's the scale that weighs a lot of importance in the run. Haha. Cool. We see Ryan on the final room of Route 2, and let's see if the crabs cooperate with him. That one didn't. Oh, and oh, it was so close.
And Ryan has to go back for this secret. Oh no.
This is going from bad to worse for Ryan. As Felix makes her way to Bicorn. And he finally got the crab in, and now he's going to push the last one in out of spite as well. Honestly, respect Ryan for that. And getting stuck on the collision there. As Ted starts Scourge.
And Felix is waiting for the platform in Bicorn.
Yep. And Ted killing... Oh, missing a hit on Peeves. Finally killing him now, though.
Taking it slowly, because if we kill Peeps too fast, because if we activate the door, the doors are closing, and if we kill him too fast before the door closes, it's a soft lock. So it's another example of we want to go fast, but not too fast.
Yeah. Ryan in the bean bonus room. That looks like good RNG to me.
Yeah, it's, I would say something between, or maybe the same as Heatherhead. Yes.
Yeah. And Felix past the first room of creature pushing and into the second room as Ted about to finish Scourge. And Ryan is done with the bean bonus room and is about to go play Quidditch now.
Yes.
And we can skip going through this entire maze by just casting on the first two sections, like the green and the purple beams, and that gives you a clear path to where you want to be. But falling down gives you a bit of damage. A cool thing you can do is adjust yourself so you land into a ledge grab, but that is incredibly hard.
Speed casual playthrough.
Yep.
Oh,
that was very close from Felix. I thought that wasn't gonna make it, but she made it.
Here we have a wheel skip, perfectly done. Slightly getting damaged, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine as long as she didn't die.
Yes. Felix has a potion, so the only way to die right now is from fall damage. And we don't want to lose the potion until the snake, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Felix dying to the bridge. That bridge has like a dead zone where it eats up your input, your jump input. So you want to make sure that you land anywhere other than that dead zone. But Felix unfortunately landing there. And Ted is struggling a bit with the creatures in the first room. As Ryan goes to make a potion and Felix makes it through the bridge on her second try.
Commentators being accused of jinxing the runners.
Well, I mean, commentator's curse does exist, so I'm not going to sit here and deny it. As Tedder makes his way through the second room of creature pushing, lovely Bicorn, with so much creature pushing, you love to see it. And Ryan makes his way to Scourge now.
It's just the type of level that we're asking ourselves, why the frick are we here?
Yep.
What is this level meant to be? And falling into the ledge grab.
Yeah. Very cool. And not losing any health to that. It's wonderful. So that's what we call a pro gamer move.
Yes. Felix. Felix taking down Malfoy.
Very quickly.
Really quickly. Yes.
Very cleanly. Going through to Defendo now as Ted goes through the wheel We'll see how he does in this section.
Setting it
Very
up. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
And we'll see if Ryan is blessed by the RNG gods again, like he was in the bean bonus room. See if there's any fake inputs.
Yeah,
Tyler
Felix
on-
killed. Not killed. Well, never say that. Knocked out Malfoy relatively quick.
Yep.
And Ryan does even faster version that he'll probably show us.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see it. As Tether finishes Bible.
Yep, he's got the horn and he is making his way to knock out Malfoy as well. Not kill. And Ryan going okay on the first 2 rounds of spell learning. And we've got our fingers crossed that the 3rd round goes okay as well. And there we are. And we have Tedder with the first very clean hit on Malfoy, and the second one as well. Very nice, very clean. Felix goes through Defendo spell learning. Fake inputs have been seen here, but are much less common than in Scourge.
Oh, but we can see Tether riding on Ron to the exit.
Yep. It's a lot faster than just walking down the stairs, and also more fun.
Yes, because fun fact, every bob we get on top of a unit gives us a random amount of speed. So sometimes it might be faster, sometimes it might be bad.
Yep.
It's just
Felix
RNG.
Yeah. Felix has started Defendo. And Tedder is just starting the spell learning now. Felix is probably going to have to go for this frog, and she does. As she goes through to
Skipping the save book.
Yeah. A ballsy
This-
move, because there's not many in Defendo.
This can be quite painful if something unfortunate happens.
We hope it doesn't. And Ryan going for the frog as well, because he was on very low health.
So they're finishing first lesson, first round of a lesson.
Felix pushing the block, going around all the way, and getting to the moving platform. Oh, and not getting the moving platform boost. Getting a second try though. As Ryan is almost finished with Scourge. Felix not going for the second save book either.
That's some risky input.
Yeah. But we hope she doesn't need it. As Ryan comes out of Scourge and rides the random student to the bean bonus room. Out after every spell learning challenge, you have to go into the bean bonus room for the house point ceremony.
Yes.
It doesn't send you to the bean bonus room after Rig 2 because you're not collecting any challenge stars or that many house points either, because by then Slytherin is in too much of a lead. And Felix finally taking a save book there and getting bad mushroom RNG, so having to go for the long ledge grab on this section.
Yeah, there's a small optimization where we can cut the mushroom and jump on top of it. That's what all Glitchless is about. Oh, but not that ledge grab that Taylor just got.
Yep.
Almost falling down. Because when we're in midair and the cutscene starts playing, our momentum immediately goes to 0 and then we just go straight down.
Yeah. And Brian is quite a ways behind. He's in Bicorn and having to push the creatures now. While we see Felix trying to get the snail into the pit. We hope it doesn't troll her. It does not, and she's good.
As we can see, they're right on the tail of Felix,
Yep.
trying
Ryan
his
using-
best.
Yeah, he's trying his best to make up any time, and Felix not going for
Yes.
the frog over there. Ryan is in the second room of the creature pushing.
And out of it.
Yep. And he's on the way to the maze.
Oh, he doesn't have enough health to fall down, I think? You have to go for ledge grab!
Beautifully
That was
done.
really close.
Yeah, that had me terrified, but he made it.
That was really terrifying, but
Yeah.
thankfully he got it.
And Ryan coming up to wheel skip as we see Felix pushing the final snails into their pits and almost done with Defendo.
There's gonna play smart, wait for the snail to rush at him, and then
Yep.
move out to another one.
And there we go. And he is in the pit. We know he's in the pit because a cutscene plays, and he's going to push the second one in by himself. And that was great. And Ryan through the pixie bridge as Felix makes her way into Boomslang. Ryan finishing up Bicorn. Going to show us the fast Malfoy hopefully, and Felix getting really bad mushroom RNG here, so having to manually readjust the mushroom so she can climb up directly to the sledge. As Tedder makes his way to the final snail pushing room in.
Oh, we're not getting a shroom stack.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was thinking Felix would go for it, but
Let's see Ryan if he'll go for a start. He will go.
oh,
And
and
it did not work. You can get a quick cast in front of him instead of going to the right and to the left.
we have to be really fast before Malfoy like charges up his wand, so you can directly attack him, but unfortunately didn't work for Ryan. Still a really good backup there. As Felix finishes Boomslang and goes to the Bean bonus room because, the House Point ceremony chamber because, she's not been there after Defendo.
Yes. And we'll see one of the crucial skips
Yep.
in the entire game, which is Nick skip.
Yep. Nick skip or Dumbledore skip.
Dumbledore skip, more likely, yes, because
Yeah.
Nick skip is the first one.
Basically, nearly headless Nick has been petrified, and there's a cutscene trigger on the spot where he has been petrified, and you want to jump around it. And oh, that looked sketchy, but Felix made it work. That was beautiful. If you land into the cutscene, that's I think 2.5 minutes, because then you are forced to go to Dumbledore's office and have to sit through him, explaining everything, and his little phoenix dying and all that. So we just avoid that and go directly to the bathroom. And now we have a shroom stack as well on.
Yeah, as we look at Tether,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Oh, gosh,
that's
that
not.
third
That
one
does
not
not look good.
cooperating. And
We'll see if
finally
he'll
we
pick
have
up any mushroom. No, he'll not.
No, he
And okay.
and he is through. While Felix goes through Goyle. And Ryan finishes Defendo spell learning. And Tedder goes into the House Point ceremony chamber and is coming up close to Dumbledore / Nick skip.
Yes.
Ryan
Ryan
gambling on the
in-
RNG there.
Ryan in Defendo, going for a faster strat of the snail.
Oh,
And failing.
failing to cast on the snail.
Yeah, this strat basically guarantees us if we play for the level, like after this, if we play very well, guarantees us a good cycle, and Tether makes it
Very clean.
around
Not
the nick.
even fast. And Felix is in the elevator. She gets the snails close to her and then stuns and pushes them in the pit. Oh, I don't think Ryan has... Oh, he did not manage to cut the rope there.
Oh.
That was unfortunate. He was trying to be too quick, but missed the cast.
Oh,
And we see Tedder making his way into Goyle.
yes. As Felix is probably like halfway done, or 2/3 of it.
Yeah. And we see the moving platform boost from Ryan in Defendo, and he is done with the boost. Easy as. And Felix is just about in the final room, essentially, of Goyle. Because
Yes.
we go, you can just jump onto this little wall here and then go into the room where Goyle is sleeping and steal some of his hair from unknown parts. So we can make
Yes.
a polyjuice potion.
I don't know where he grabs you. Really suspect. I guess we can take it from his shoulder.
Yeah. Must have pretty hairy shoulders.
Yes.
Ooh, Ryan not getting the best RNG on the mushrooms in Defendo and having to go for the long ledge grab. While Felix goes into the bathroom and gets transformed into Goyle.
Whoa, where did Harry go?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Felix didn't get transformed into Goyle, it was Harry.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Hmm.
And Tedder coming up to the final section of Goyle as well. While Ryan is still in Defendo, it's a very, very sizable difference between them.
The unfortunate death in HP1 at Potion Skip.
Yeah. And getting caught in Filch as well, that didn't help Finn.
Yes. But race isn't over until the end of the game, so
We've seen many races come down to Snake, and Snake is the big decider in this game, so
yes.
until that Snake has been put to death, we can't say it's over. And Felix making her way into the Slytherin common room now, as Tedder picks out Goyle's hair, and Ryan goes for the
From the
Froggo,
knee.
and Frog trolling him a little bit.
And enters the ending.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Tedder has the glorious Goyle transformation.
Yes. And the best song and the best music in the game.
Definitely. I'm glad we share that opinion. We're going to see a very interesting strat here, which is called the portal drop, where if you drop from the staircase and land onto the bottom, like, you know, oh, okay, or we can just take the damage and go through.
Yeah,
or
we'll
that.
just...
It's faster, obviously, than portal drop, because with portal drop you walk forwards onto the first set of stairs, and then land on the railing of the stairs to make sure you don't get any damage. And Felix getting a very clean bridge skip, by the way, and she goes through into the common room.
Yeah, Tether will go for almost every time save just to keep up.
Yeah. And we see Ryan
Let's
starting,
see.
and he's got good mushroom RNG. Oh, but
Oh,
missed.
but jumping around along the wall.
Yep.
And again.
Now we'll see Felix confronting Malfoy and being transformed back into Harry, and now she has to avoid running into any Slytherins because they report her to Professor Snape. And we see Ryan going to the left side.
Wow.
Oh, that
You
was
cannot go there. That was really close.
incredibly close. And we see
While
Ryan,
Ryan is getting a really nice
very
shrimp
good
back.
mushroom stack.
Yes.
And we see Tedder coming up to Brit Skip, and Felix goes on through to Spongify. Missing that trigger the first time round. Tedder waits for the bridge to go down, goes through the second time, and getting it brilliantly.
Nicely.
That was great.
And we can see Felix entering the last spell charge of her run.
And we see Ryan coming up to the big skip, which is the Nick Dumbledore skip. And he gets it. That was very, very close, but
yeah. Slight tap to the left, and we would see petrified Nick.
yeah. And we see Tedder hugging the walls, going as close to the walls as he can to save his time. And Orion starts Goyle. Tedder has to run out of the common room as Harry and avoid any Slytherins. And having a much easier time of it than Felix did.
Yep.
As she is in round 2 of Spongify spell learning. While Tedder makes his way through to the final spell learning challenge. And that jump was quite early, but like we said before, that collision is very, very forgiving. And so he makes it up without any issues. And he's going to enter spell learning just as Felix finishes, so the difference is not much at all. And we see Ryan casting on the crabs very quickly, getting
Felix
in
exiting the lesson.
and going into the challenge.
Tedder starts. Oh, what? Oh, whoa, what? The snail was bouncing on top of the card.
I thought I imagined that.
That was
This
something you do not see every day.
Yeah. And we see Felix walking around the cutscene trigger in this room because we avoid these doors from being locked and from the challenge star from being brought to like a higher platform where you cannot reach it from the first Spongify tile. And she gets through the crab room as well with the decanter jump without a multitask, which is one of the places in this game that you can multitask, which I did not know about up until very recently.
Really easy to kill the run. And here, Felix is gonna do a really big sequence break on this level.
Yep.
We skipped a lot of level just like that.
And we go through and get the final challenge start. As Ryan is almost finished with Goyle, he's going to pluck out some of Goyle's hair. And Felix gets into the house point ceremony chamber for the final time. And Tedder starts Spongify. Oh, and getting a very early cast on that was really cool.
Yeah. It's possible to get that. It's really rare to get it because sometimes just spells doesn't make it.
Yeah. We see Tedder going past the cutscene trigger as well and making it through. Going all the way up into the next room. While Ryan has become one with Goyle, or he is Goyle now.
Yes.
As Felix makes her way to the bathroom, where she will seek out Morning Myrtle, and she's going to learn about the history of our beloved Hagrid.
Good.
And this is an unskippable cutscene. It's about 46 seconds long, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, something around there.
And she just gets to sit back and relax as Tedder finishes Spongify and casts on the final pad for the heck of it.
Just wine.
And Ryan going into the Slytherin common room now. Felix finishes the cutscene and will now go to the forest.
Heather is gonna know the truth as well.
Oh, she got stuck
Felix
on
knows,
the
but she will not tell.
railing.
Heather would save a lot of time then.
Yeah.
Casting on the cauldron does not get a frog, but in forest there's a free frog we can get.
Yeah. And now Tedder gets his little relaxation time in the unskippable cutscene, while Ryan goes up to the bridge and jumps into it straight out of the save book and makes it. That was very clean. Felix is now in the forest.
We can see Hagrid from close up.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that face, wow.
Yes. Low graphics face.
And Felix narrowly avoiding the plant and going to attempt bridge skip. See how she fares, very clean. And Ryan goes to Malfoy now, while Tedder is making his way into the forest.
We'll see if there are any glitches here. Nope. We can sometimes get the ledge clip. Oh, but Felix almost getting bit by a imp.
Yeah, that was very close. But she cast Flipendo on it at just the right time while Ryan escapes the Slytherins and goes through to Spongify. And I hope she doesn't boost off here, thank goodness.
I don't think this will happen after like 40 minutes of the game.
That's true.
Oh, but
Forest is...
Oh. Game disappeared for a bit, but I guess we're back. We're back and Felix teleported essentially. Here we can see a Strap or Aragog. We can cast twice on these webs and they count as destroying 2 of them. Saving a bit of time.
And Ryan starts the spell learning for Spongify, and Felix getting the good attack from Aragog. And I think she's going to attempt to get him in position. Oh, she didn't.
No, we'll...
Not going for the strat from Chungus where you can avoid the webs.
Yes.
And I believe it's also faster as well.
Yes, it is faster.
Yeah.
But I know at least Ryan, if he'll make it there, he will show us.
Yeah. Tedder makes his way to the bow truckies, getting every single one of them sniped so that he does not get hit. Felix goes into the hospital wing where she sees Hermione, but we don't see that because we skipped that particular cutscene. Now she goes into chamber. As Tedder makes his way to Aragog. And Ryan is still finishing Spongify spell learning. So he has a lot of catching up to do.
Yep.
Chamber will be very interesting because you're going to see quite a few strats in this, at least in the first room. Like
Yeah,
the first
Chamber 1
section.
is really terrible for Glitchless.
Yeah. So we'll see if Felix goes for skirt snipe. She does. She tries the setup. And it works first try. Brilliant. And she
Will we
takes the
see Chamber boost? I mean, Chamber drop.
I'm not sure if Felix goes for that. But we
Yeah.
will see. She gets the ledge grab.
No.
She'd not go for it.
So basically, after the place where Felix touch grab, we can jump across the room and barely make it on the other side.
Yeah, but
But
it's one of those strats that looks a lot easier than it is.
maybe Tether will go for it. We'll see.
Yeah. I know that Ryan goes for it, but I'm not sure how he's going to adjust to this, being behind and all that. So we see Felix setting up for Pixie Proxy, getting it, landing directly on the Spongify tile, which is great. Oh, and landing on
Landing
the crab.
on a crab. Beautiful.
And we see Tedder going into the chamber. He's waiting. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Ryan is finishing Spongify.
Yep. As Felix pushes the crabs into the spot. Now, all the other crabs can be quite potato with their aim. These crabs in the first room of Chamber 2, they have deadly aim. Like, if they see you, they will try their best to kill you.
Yes.
And we see Tedder coming up to the spot with Chamber Jump, and we'll see if he goes for it or not.
Oh.
Looks like he is. Oh,
Setting it up.
setting it up. Oh, and missing it.
No. That's really unfortunate. With a cast on the rock. Will he go again? He'll go again?
Oh, he's
For the
going it
viewers?
again. Oh,
No.
missing it again.
We'll see it again. No,
No.
giving up.
2 is enough, I suppose.
But at least we know where to land there.
Yeah. And now Ryan has come up to the unskippable cutscene with young Hagrid. As Felix goes through the Indiana Jonesing. And Tedder body blocks the pixie, stuns it, and gets a nice
Ooh. I
and
wanted to
getting
see
hit by the
nothing of momentum, but oh my god, so much!
Oh, wow.
Oh my god, so much happening in this room. Such
He
a
got
chaotic
sniped.
room.
He landed on pixies twice. He got the ledge grab and he almost fell off of there. It was a lot.
From the second one, he got such a good buff. He got a lot of speed
Yeah.
from that.
Tedder getting sniped by these crabs as well, but making his way through the room finally as Felix goes on to the final boss fight of the game, which is the Basilisk.
Snake.
Snake. We
Nail.
fondly like to call him. And Ryan makes his way to Forest now. If Felix can take this nice and slow, she has got this in the bag for her team. She has a potion as well, bear in mind, so she can take it like really nice, and a nice maybe 3-4 cycle could be great. Because the closest to her is Tedder, and he's still barely behind. She's drank the potion, so she doesn't cancel out the damage strats, and oh, getting hit, but finally killing the snake and almost finishing up the race.
Finishing on the first spot.
Yep, we have our winners. It's Renee and Felix.
And we got the
2-8.
timing correctly.
Yep.
Beautiful.
GG's to Felix and Renee.
Yes.
Really brilliantly done. And now we see Tedder making his way through to the snake.
As Ryan is trying his best to go through the forest.
Yep. And Tedder can take this nice and slow as well to clutch that second spot. He just needs to relax and not... Oh.
Wait. And
Not
that's a
Oh
lot
my
of damage.
goodness. That is a lot of damage.
He just took that breeze from Snake on
Yep.
top of his face. But
Getting some really good damage in that second cycle, and oh
Yep.
boy. Oh, and
and taking some good damage on his own. Just to make it a close battle and
Yeah.
finishing second.
Snake was like, I'm not letting you get away with this.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
And we have Ryan doing Aragog as Tedder closes in to the second spot. So Portal and Tedder are team number 2.
And maybe we're gonna see Ryan do the Chungus strat for Glitchless.
Yep.
I hope so.
Will be interesting. And we do
And-
see him trying to get him in position, and we have it.
And yeah, we can loop him around in this attack, giving him some fast crits.
Yeah. And it also helps because Aragog doesn't shoot any webs in this stance.
And does not hit us when he charges.
Yeah, that as well. And he is now done.
Beautiful representation.
And now he is going to make his way to the end game, which is the chamber. I'm being informed that Tedder also did Chungus Aragog strat. Apologies because I was caught up in Felix's snake battle at the time, or actually in the chamber strats at the time. So I must have missed it.
So now there's a fight for honor, which is finishing underestimate.
Yeah. And
Ryan against entire chamber and the snake.
Yeah.
We'll see how the
Goes
first trick
first
goes.
snipe.
Beautiful.
That was perfection. I reckon we're going to see a chamber jump as well. Ryan is at least going to attempt it.
For the views.
Yeah. Oh!
No
my
setup,
God.
just goes for it. Beautiful.
He got that so brilliantly, and it worked.
Impressive. Made it look easy.
Yeah. That is nowhere near as easy as he made that look.
We'll see
And Pixie
the.
on a good cycle as well for Ryan. Oh,
Oy,
but
oy, 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 oy. And decides to just die. I guess
Yeah.
there's no good backup for this.
there is a backup, but I don't know. It's not.
Oh,
Oh boy, that
nice.
was really close as well. He landed on the corner of that platform there.
Yeah.
Took a snipe from the crab as well, but makes it through. We see Ryan in chamber 2. as he pushes the crabs in, avoiding any hits. Oh, spoke too soon. And we have Felix still watching the credits, by the way.
Yeah.
Just a nod to everybody who was involved in making this game. Oh, and Ryan getting bit by that pixie. Oh. And that pixie takes out like half of your health. So I'm going to go for this frog because I think he wants to do snake without having to make another potion. Oh, and jumping there, it's a little sketchy to jump there because you can land into a wall walk, which would make this run invalid because, you know, glitchless and all that.
Yes. Wall walking and stuff.
And we have Indiana Jonesing.
Yeah, we'll let Ryan finish, and we're gonna quickly talk about with runners about how they felt during the run, etc.
Yep. What's also commendable is that Renee's PC was having a lot of issues like leading up to this. So it's great that his PC held out through the entire race, and as much as Renee and Felix's gameplay is to be commended, his PC should also be commended for holding on through the entire race. Oh, and Ryan drinking his potion on the fire, but getting hit on every single one of those. Yikes.
He's a quick man, he'll not wait.
And going through the first phase of the snake fight. And finishing it. He's setting up for what looks like a 2-cycle, but I could be wrong.
And we'll see how the first cycle though goes, and he'll decide.
Oh boy.
He takes the chance.
Not that much
And this will
damage.
not work.
Yeah. Oh, and he's
and
dead.
he doesn't have a potion, I forgot.
Yeah, he just drank it in the fires. Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Yeah, this
Snake 1, Ryan 0.
Yeah. Now Ryan has a score to settle with the snake, so fingers crossed that it goes okay for him now. Oh, and getting hit on that first phase as well. Yikes.
I can bet Ryan is getting disturbed by people in the voice call.
Yeah. Not the best
Rise.
first cycle, not the
Rise
worst
it
either.
again.
Oh, and
Snake
never
said,
mind.
no, take it safe. You're on a marathon.
And that health is a very Mon KW, but he's got a good amount of damage in the second cycle now. If you just
Ouch.
That was ouch indeed. And
Snake 2, Ryan 0.
Yep. And Snake shooting that poison onto him just as a reminder that he is one. And spitting poison onto his corpse. That's not cool, Snake. Done with the first phase again. And hopefully this 2-cycle goes better for him than the first 2 did. Looks not that great. Okay, he's going to take it slow and do a 3-cycle. Probably smart.
Nice double hit.
Yep.
Some damage boosting. Dancing around the snake.
Avoiding
off.
all hits from him as well this time around.
Oh, and he did not hit the genie there. Okay. So
Gets in.
he'll clock third.
Yep. And big GG's for Ryan and Finn as well. 27.50 in
Jesus.
place 3. Now, should we pull them back in here and ask how they
Yeah,
feel?
yeah. Let's bring
do
them.
that.
That's where I'm from.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
How are we
everyone.
feeling?
Okay, so
We'll start with third place, Finn and Ryan.
yeah, let's start from
Start
Team
with
Do we
Ryan
have
and
to?
Finn.
I think I just want to give massive shout outs to Ryan for like doing the best that he could with the horrendous situation that I put him in after.
It's always fun racing with you. I'll take you as a teammate any day of the week.
Aw,
That's a
that's
really
wonderful.
wholesome moment.
Yep. Snake did not cooperate with you there, Ryan.
Nah, but that was my own fault.
Understandable. Still
Being
massive
risky at
GG's.
this Snake.
Yeah. Massive GG's. Like, that's still a really good Duofecta time. But from both of you.
That's a
moving
third
into
place in Duofecta Cup.
Wow.
Just saying.
Impressive. Impressive. Now we have Tedder and Portal in second place. How do you guys feel?
Swag.
HP1 did HP1 things again.
Yep.
No, but
The-
seriously, I doubt there's stuff that I could have done worse than I did. So I'm happy with what I got at the end. Yeah, still shout outs to Tedder for still finishing as best he could. He got a 48.53 glitchless. So
Because
that's
yeah, it would have been a
good.
mid 48 if I hadn't just randomly gone for chamber jump. 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not good at that trick.
Yeah, I'm bittersweet feelings of my run. It was on one hand really good, on other hand it was really bad because I failed all the easy stuff and then the hard stuff I just get first try.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you got Neville skip, but then
I got Neville skip, I
Yeah.
got chess skip, I got fucking filch strats, I got
What about potion
I-
skip? You did potion
yeah.
skip first try, right?
Yeah, I did. I got everything. I just
I
suck
did
at the
fast
game.
Aragog and no one even noticed.
Yeah, the Tedder did fast Aragog and no one noticed.
We
It's so
noticed
sad.
in Cole. We did notice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about it.
Let's go.
I didn't do it perfectly though. It was a little bit jank.
Yeah, the new Copium formula, Copium X69.
I still feel like Ted did really well getting close to Felix. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was really close.
I basically
Really
said
close.
I'm gonna get a 48, and then I got a 48. So I did what I
Yeah.
said I was gonna do.
Wonderful.
I think I
liked
still got
the-
a sub 130, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked about my run was I had 3 things I liked about my run. It was
Who's in charge of the Potterthon account though?
It was the Resp, my Spider, and then my Chamber one was okay.
Thanks, baby.
So GG's, Tedder, and Portal as well. And finally, we have our winners, Renee and Felix. How do you guys feel?
Renee definitely carried that one.
Yeah, he put a really great start with a
Yeah.
really good
I
run.
It was
really
insane.
happy, but like, if I had to finish off that HP2 myself, we still would have lost, so I couldn't have done it without Felix. And I looked at the leaderboards, and this even real time would be a second place Glitchless duo. Sadly, we can't submit it because it's a 2-man, but
That's
that's
insane.
pretty insane.
Same for us, I think.
Yeah, I
Because I
told
just-
Renee when she was going, I was like, Renee, I can put out a clean 50-minute run. So you just got to give us whatever, lead we need to, be okay if I do a clean 50-minute run. And I got a 49.57. So I am a woman true to my word.
You also
You know
promised
what?
good RNG, but
Wait, we do have PS1 Draco Sailor. It's this, right? Wait, do we not? What is this then?
Oh gosh.
yeah, overall,
Okay.
I'm really happy with how that went. I failed Neville skip and I was behind PB, but I still finished really close to it.
Oh no, he's gone
1:72.
chunk mode.
Very, very impressive indeed.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep,
who
it was a lot of
participated. I had a
fun.
really
Thanks
good
to
time.
everyone.
Thank you, and a big shout outs to the organizers because those transitions from HP1 to HP2 they were
Very,
crisp.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, that
beautiful.
was
Yeah, you guys
clean.
fucking killed it.
Vodka.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we can
End
finish it
stream?
off
Yeah. Um,
and move on
this
to the next game.
yeah.
Oh, thank you
this
for
was the
commentating, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks
Like
for coming to the
last
short
minute,
shoutouts.
last minute notice, and you guys commentated. Freaking love you guys.
Easy.
You're awesome.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to commentate this really interesting race. And yeah, thank you for having us.
Yep, same.
See ya.
See ya.
See
Bye.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.